Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Project Network. In this episode, we will be speaking with the team from KDABet. This conversation was recorded on June 1st, 2022, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expressions in this AMA do not represent the views of KPN directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also, make sure to follow our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now, let's get started. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I think right about now. All right.
Sure.
So, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, we're very excited to talk with you guys today. Obviously, you guys, big name, up and coming in the recent weeks. Definitely a stacked team and whatnot. So I'm really excited to learn more about KDABet.
Yeah, let's dig in.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just start off with like the first question, which will be like, can you just introduce yourself and KDABet as a whole?
Yeah, for sure. So my name's Steve Rothwell. So I'm one of the 6 founders of KDABet. And what we're trying to do is, well, I guess I'll just talk a little bit about myself. So I'm a quant in general. So I've been working in science and math for 22 years now. And I kind of went from science into sports betting. So I've been sports betting at scale for about 10 years, specializing NBA, MLB betting, and did pretty well. Kind of took that into the enterprise world in a company called Fans Unite, one of my founders, and we ended up trying to build the first protocol for an Oracle-based sports betting network on ETH. So that didn't turn out very well because ETH not great. So large fees, really unsafe, really hard to scale. And so, we really struggled with that and tried to get that going, but it turned out that, it probably wasn't going to work because it was on Ethereum. And so we kind of wrapped that up. We took the company public on something called a white label. So we do services for sports betting. And so that company exited and that was pretty good. And then I went back to sports betting full time. I've just kind of always been looking for a blockchain that could solve the problem of scalability, and as well as, safety. These are the 2 big concerns in sports betting. So like you can't have your accounts drained, right? So if somebody comes to bet, suddenly they open their wallet and it's at 0. Not great. And you don't want to pay, $40 fee every time you make a $100 bet for the regular bettor. And so we finally found Kadena in 2021, and we said, this is the time to build, so we can seg into like KDABet and what it does. So Kadena, we all love Kadena. The unique technology solves the trilemma. Everything scales nicely, and most importantly, when people bet $100, they're paying a 0.6 cent fee, which is what we really want because bettors will just abandon any platform on ETH unless they're super rich. So we started to envision KDABet here as a kind of a reimagining of the betting exchange. So there's a very, very popular company in the fiat world, in the Web 2 world called Betfair. They're doing billions upon billions of dollars of transactions, but lots of people aren't satisfied with that. So we said, okay, we can probably rebuild this on Kadena. So we got a good team together, and now we're just trying to use kind of more crypto dynamics, token dynamics to try to build a betting exchange right here on Kadena in the Web3 world. So that's KDABet.
Yeah, and you guys talk about your team, right? Definitely one of the top of the top teams that I've seen in crypto so far, along with actually just the Kadena team in general. Like it's these new minds that come into the space, right? Like I know you're familiar with crypto and whatnot, but you said you've been in the traditional sports betting space, right? So it's really cool to see you guys come into the blockchain space, especially on Kadena. I think that's what Kadena and just blockchain overall needs. So this kind of leads into my next question, which would be, I know you guys talk a little bit about like looking for the blockchain to solve the trilemma, right? Like you looked at ETH, you saw it wasn't going to work out. You're not going to get the investor attraction that you're looking for. So when you guys really first looked at Kadena, what were like the factors that kind of made the deal for you?
Yeah, actually, let me correct you on that one point. We did get investor attraction massive. So we raised $10 million. We probably could have raised 20 or 30 on ETH back in 2016. that was like the drunk periods before Bitcoin, I think, went up to what was it, 20 something, 22 or something, and then it crashed back down to 3. We could have raised anything we wanted on ETH. It was amazing for the VC world, but you lose control of everything, and that's what happened to that company. They took it in another direction when they saw Bitcoin crash back down to 3. So the investment's not really the problem. The problem is the tech, period. And you need safety, you need scalability, you need low fees, but you actually have to be able to handle the transactions per second. So like crypto, like we all know crypto here, we're all traders and stuff. And you know that, when trading centralized exchanges get overwhelmed, when you're trying to trade your money and sometimes you can't get your money out and wallets break down, you can't have this kind of tech in sports betting. You have to really, really pick a blockchain that can handle large scale transactions, and that's Kadena. So when we looked at Chainweb and how it's scaled, so they're braiding those chains together really nicely on Kadena. And it just spoke to us because we saw that, underlying their technology, they could scale on the Chainweb to these high rates of 300,000 TPS. And that's kind of what sports betting needs. Not 300,000, more like 10,000 TPS, like in World Cup. That's pretty common, especially when you have like bot trading and stuff, which happens a lot. So it's no different than like a KuCoin bot or something like that. I mean, we've all probably used one here and there. And, that's what Kadena really brings, is that they have the public blockchain, the Chainweb, and then they have Kuro. So when you're building like this engine that matches bets, just like you match bets on KuCoin with like Bitcoin and Kadena, like in that little trading pair, we need to have that scalability. And, we saw Kuro as fitting that, and Kuro can just handle a lot of transactions, even in its nascent state right now. And so we kind of figured out a way how we might be able to bridge the gap and build transactions at that scale, which are actually safe. Because you see Solana, there's some competitors on Solana and Polygon, and they're always breaking and shutting down. Oh yeah, the blockchain shut down. We'll turn it on in 2 days. It's not great for betting because it's 24/7.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely. I should have thought a little bit more about the investor traction, especially since you said it was in 2016. So yeah, a lot of money going into blockchain at that time. So yeah. Cool, really cool. And I know you talked about a little bit about the tech side of Kadena. Definitely important for like a long-term vision, which is what you guys have in mind. So awesome.
Yeah.
So I know you guys list partners on your website such as Lion Gaming Group and Highwater Technologies. Can you talk just a little bit more about what these partnerships are going to mean for the actual KDABet platform?
Right. So Highwater Technologies is actually a firm that I run with my 2 partners, Joey Fortuna and Martin Bailey. What we do is we use mathematics to figure out what the odds should be on a game. And then we compete against the bookmakers and we try to pick off their odds when they're bad. And so we do that at a pretty high scale. So, Joey's been running one of the biggest brokerages in the world for 20 years. So, that's what Highwater is. It just brings that market making technology, just like you see bots making markets on KuCoin or anything. Really, sports trading is exactly the same as crypto trading. And all you guys know crypto trading and all the little tricks and stuff like that. And so, when what we're trying to do is bring that technology, not just our technology. So Highwater is our own little math. So when you come on and you come and bet KDAB in, say, a baseball market or a basketball NBA market, you'll see good odds up there and lots of money kind of floating into the markets at good prices. And that's our technology that we've built over many, many years and very, very successful with that. But we also want to decentralize that. So we want to bring in other market makers who are very large scale. So some of these guys are trading $250 to $500 million match bets a year on platforms like Betfair. So we're going to bring in a lot of our friends and a lot of our acquaintances and relationships that we've built up over a 20-year history and kind of bring them on to make markets. And as you guys know, in crypto, without the people making the price layers liquid so that, you can trade your Kadena in and out at different prices, without those guys, it would be a dead market. And you can't trade in and out at any scale. So if you wanted to get your Kadena out, like 50K Kadena out because you think the price is going down, without a market maker, you're toast, right? There's nobody to trade with. So that's what High Water is. It's our own personal trading firm, but we'll be bringing maybe a dozen or more different firms like that on to just make those markets nice and liquid and capital. Now, the other partner you mentioned was Lion Gaming Group, and that's with our foundation partner, Duncan McIntyre. He's our legal head as well as business operations. And he's also CEO of Lion Gaming Group. And what they are is a white label and licensing solution. And they deal a lot with crypto companies, sort of these betting companies who want to bring on cryptocurrency. And it's really hard for people who don't know crypto. Like you guys all know crypto. You're in and out. You know, you can buy coins, swap, all that stuff. Well, just imagine an average bettor, and you know they don't know. Like what is KDA? How do I buy that? So, you know what Lion does is they give us the payment rails to go from fiat to crypto and in many different coins, and they work with many companies in the betting space who want to do that, who want to trade in crypto and such. They also have the ability to afford us licensing, which is a key aspect in betting. If you are making a coin and you're trading like a pirate illegally, like some of the competitors do, that's bad because, you know, at any given time you can get rugged by regulators, especially as you see regulation kind of ramping up. So our commitment as a project on Kadena is to be 100% regulated. And that's why we partner with Lion Gaming Group, because they give us the legal expertise and many licenses in places like Curacao and Malta and Isle of Man. These are all famous gambling countries which let you operate there and take bets from certain people. So that's why we partner with Lion. And yeah, and we're looking for more partners actually as well.
Awesome. Yeah, so I like that you guys are focused on that legal aspect of it. As you said, a lot of your competitors, that sometimes their betting is through like kind of illiquid tokens and other things like that, and that can get messy, especially with regulation. So I'm glad to hear you guys are going to have a very liquid market for the platform. So you talk a little bit about like user experience and like the average bettor trying to use your platform, talking about, oh, what's KDA? How do I do this? Are you guys going to be using gas stations for your platform?
Yeah, we are considering that. I think it's a pretty obvious match to do that. We want to also kind of work with the swap engines. So there's some pretty nice swap engines here with KDAX and KDS. And so, you know, a lot of people will just be able to directly get their KDAB directly through a swap, or maybe using Wrapped ETH or Wrapped Bitcoin or something like that, kind of onboard. And then we'll try to use gas stations to keep the costs at the lowest rate. Now, I'm just going to be honest and say we're still wrapping our mind around gas stations and how it all works by reading the code. But it looks very advantageous to us. And, you know, the ultimate goal, I guess the point of it is to keep the cost as low as possible, because you don't want any sort of decay of your bankroll. Like you're betting and you bet $100 and we don't use a gas station and you're losing 1% every time you bet. That's unacceptable in sports betting, because your money is your money. And so kind of what attracted us to Kadena is this concept of gas stations. And we're still kind of wrapping our mind around how it all integrates into a system as complex as a sports book, which is, you know, pretty complex software, because, you know, lots of matching bets in and out and fills and stuff. It's like a more complex KuCoin, basically. So yeah, I guess gas stations is on our radar, and looking forward to integrating it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think gas stations are definitely one of the highlights of Kadena. So hopefully you guys use them for at least some of your on-chain transactions. Yeah, very excited for that. So I know you also talked about using like KADEX and maybe some other DEXs in the future, kind of like built in somewhat to your platform so that people can get KDAB using KADEX gas stations and whatnot, and KADEX liquidity. So how will KDAB fit into the actual KadenaBet platform? I know it's probably a little bit early, so if you can't tell us some things, just let us know.
Oh no, we fully have spec'd that out. So just to clarify, do you mean what is the utility of the token? Is that what you're asking? And why would you even make a token? It's a kind of...
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, its first utility is as a governance token. So I'm going to explain to the crypto people here how sports betting work in crypto terms, because we're very much the same. Okay, like you guys who trade crypto all day, we're very much like sports bettors. Like you have kind of three parties, okay, that deal in sports betting, and in crypto you have the same. You have the recreational traders who probably aren't making a lot of money, but they enjoy trading in crypto and experiencing the moon once in a while, and they're generally not winning, but they're going against the houses like Jump Capital, and they're like the market makers, right? So Jump Capital, $1 billion, they can buy whatever they want, and they're the people who are making all the levels in the centralized exchanges that we're trading into and buying and selling and all that. And then we have you guys, so all you guys are probably sharps. That's why you're in Kadena, right? So we call them sharps in sports betting, but I guess you would say sophisticated trader in crypto. And what you guys are doing is you're rolling in and you're saying, I'm going to buy low, sell high. I'm going to buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm not going to hold the bag. And when good times roll in the bull, I'm going to de-risk my stuff by pushing into altcoins and taking higher risk bets while Bitcoin's mooning. These are all the tricks you guys know. And in sports betting, we got all the same tricks, okay? And it's because we have the same structure. It's exactly the same. We have what we call the Recs, recreational bettors who are, they bet $100 on the Yankees. They don't care. They just want to win. When the Yankees win, they love it. They like their action. It's for entertainment. Then you have the market makers. That's guys like myself and the guy I work with, Joey, and it's our partner, and many, many other firms do this. They're the people putting, millions upon millions of dollars up into the betting markets to make them liquid. And then you have the sharks, or the sharps. We call them sharps because they're sharp bettors. I don't know where that came from, but you get the idea. And they're like the sophisticated crypto traders like yourselves who are rolling in and making these bets, and they know they're going to win over time because they got all the data and they're doing all the same tricks. So, it's actually really good to illustrate that before I answer what the token does, because like, look, in sports betting, we got all the same tricks as you guys. So for instance, buy low, sell high. Sure, when everyone's betting on the Yankees and they're making the price really, really bad, we're going to bet on the other side as sharps because we know that side is undersold. Undersold. That's right. So we are actually kind of betting the teams where we know people aren't like clearing into, and so we get like advantage on that, and that's how we make our money, just like you guys trading in crypto. Then you can kind of buy the rumor, sell the news. So when somebody's saying somebody's got like a bum finger in baseball or something like that, and we know it's not true, we know we're going to do that. And then when the information comes out on the injury, we're going to basically trade off of that and like trade out of it. So we got like a really good price, and then the information comes out, but we already knew that. So you can see like a lot of parallels between crypto trading. Like, when times are good and a team is always going to win, kind of like a bull market in crypto, you're betting into all the derivative markets as well, kind of like altcoins, So it's not just you're betting on a team to win, but you can bet on certain players hitting home runs, or you can bet on certain players, doing certain things. And these are called props in the sports betting world. So they're propositions. So there's all these like little markets you can play, and it's the same type of trading tricks. So when you realize that trading in crypto is like super, super similar to trading in sports, you can create a token that sort of governs kind of the flow of the money. Okay, that's what our white paper is about. So the flow of money is like this. It's no different than crypto. Recreational traders who trade for entertainment, they're looking for their little moon here and there. All that money probably goes to market makers and guys like yourselves who are trading in and out of tokens, and you know what you're doing. You guys are making all the money, and not the people who are like panic trading and day trading. And it's the same in sports betting. And so what we've done is we've made this token a governance token, where the people who hold the token, they can vote with the token. And that vote allows you to kind of govern their mining reward. So how much should go to the recreational bettor? That's really the big concern here. And if you're not benefiting the recreational bettor enough, then why would they leave the Web 2 world? So, you got to give them something to join this network and to grow this network together. And that's what the token does. So the mining works like this. If your data is efficient and it helps make the line, so in crypto, you might think of it as people who are smartly betting, and you see the price laddering up in crypto sometimes, and then people drive the price to where it should be. It's the same thing in sports betting. And so kind of what we're doing is rewarding those people who give us their data, and that data is very good, and it helps us get the right price. It helps us price things properly, just like you do in crypto. And we reward those people with a token. And those people who get the token can vote to say how much goes to those recreational bettors, those entertainment bettors. And the more and more you give them, the more and more adoption you get, the more and more money you get into the system. And then the token price has upward buy pressure. And that's the idea behind the token. So sorry, that was very long. Sorry about that. But that's the parallel between crypto and sports and kind of how that token works.
No, I think that's actually pretty cool. I never thought about it that way when I first came on here. Sports betting, it's especially with that buy the rumor, sell the news analogy with injury rumors and stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely interesting stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Yeah, I like to see how it all kind of fits into the same puzzle. So that's kind of cool. So for those who'd like to, you talked about the governance using the KDAB token. So for those who actually want to kind of govern the platform, when can we expect to see the KDAB IDO, or is it going to be a fair launch or anything like that?
Yeah. Okay. So 2 questions. I'll take the first one first. When is our timeline? So, okay. So this is always dynamic, right? Because you want to time it so that obviously we want to get the token distributed very, very nicely to a lot of people. So we got a lot of work to do on the marketing side, a lot of education. Like we're doing now, we're trying to make parallels between sports and crypto investors. And we're building an NFT to connect your concerns with betting, because you might not understand betting, but you want to profit off that network. And so we have an NFT that allows you to do that. We can pop into that later. But, the idea is, when? So when can we make a prediction for this? So we probably are going to need about 2 more months of marketing to really just drive home what we're trying to do and really speak to the crypto side of things, because we're not doing sports betting marketing yet. It's not the time yet. The first time is, our first thing to do is to connect with you guys who are experienced crypto traders and say, this is the value of investing in this now. So that we just build enough excitement for the IDO and enough value so that you guys see the expected value of owning the token or the NFT. And then that's going to take about 2 months. So, and IDO is about a 4-week process. So what is it now? It's June. So I guess, June, July will pass, and we're going to do a heck of a lot of work in education and YouTubes and Pact and all this stuff just to build up awareness. And then maybe in mid-August is probably when we're going to start engaging with the IDO. So I think by then we should have everything covered in terms of information. And then it takes about 4 weeks to go. And so you might be looking at mid-late September for an execution. And I guess the second question was, actually, sorry, can you give the second question again? It was when IDO.
Yeah. And it's obviously, from what I hear from your timeline, it's a little bit early to be asking this. So again, just let us know if you can't really answer this right now. Where can we expect to see it? Will it be on one of the launch pads that's building on Kadena right now?
Yes. In fact, only that, I think. We really, really want this initial investment and chance to earn with us to be Kadena first, because we are Kadena bag holders. All of us own 5 figures plus Kadena, and it only serves us to work with you guys and to help the Kadena community get good projects, good earn and good projects. So, I guess we're going to look at, we are talking, I guess I can be forthright. We have already talked with both launch pads, and they're both excellent options, both KDAL and Hype. These guys really know what they're doing, and they're top of the game in crypto. We had experience in launches in ETH, not great, not great. And here I sense sophistication and also, a little more honesty than you would expect in the other blockchains, and I like that. So we're really looking at, allocating tokens to both, but we have to really explore what's best for KDA. So, launch hype. I love you. I love you all. I love your communities, but, and we do as a team. It's going to be always our concern is always going to be what's best for KDA. Obviously being bag holders and what's best for the underlying community is always the right choice to make, I think. And in that vein, I think we'll probably be working with both.
Sorry, did you cut out or are you done speaking? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm done. Yeah, probably working with both in some regard.
Yeah, sorry. My phone's lagging a little bit, so just making sure. Yeah.
Space road, right?
But yeah, totally. Had that experience a few times. Sure you have too before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's like really all the questions from me. I would usually ask when launch, but I don't really want to throw that on you guys right now. Obviously, you guys haven't even done your IDO yet, so yeah.
No, it's okay. You can ask if you want. We got an idea, actually. We can't say that it's 100% right, but if you want to ask, go
ahead. Sure. So do you guys have, I guess, just a timeline on when the platform would be launched?
Yeah. So we can actually probably, so I just want to give a disclaimer and say that, because we can't foresee all ends, we don't know, but we generally are pretty good at software development, and we got an idea of maybe the pieces that we have to build. So we're kind of predicting a 6 to 9 month build. So we've already kind of started on the technical side, mostly by just previewing all of Pact, all of Marmalade, and trying to really, really break it down, because you should really, really understand what is going on with Pact and Marmalade before you begin building in it, or you will build the wrong thing, and then you'll go back and just waste time. So we're looking to publish some technical specs pretty shortly, probably next week or the week after, where we just kind of spill out what the entire build looks like. Because, on Kadena, if you want to like work with Kadena Eco Grant, not Kadena Ecosystem Network, although we love you guys and want to work with you, you're working with Eco, and to do that, you got to kind of open source your stuff and show people what you're building. And that's the whole point. The point is to build a protocol, not hide your IP. And, that's not the point. So we want to build things out. We're thinking it's going to take about 6 to 9 months to really build a strong matching engine for pre-game bets. So say we IDO'd in September, you could probably expect at least 6 months for a build out. It's quite a complex piece of living software, the sports betting exchange. But the good thing is we have our partners at Lion Gaming, so that if we do an IDO, we'll be able to engage them, and they have tons and tons of engineering experience to help us out, help us build quickly and accurately. And then after that, you do have to audit, and let's just be really safe and say it's going to take 3 months to audit a big piece of software like that. Because what we're building is like a matching engine, kind of like you see in KuCoin when you're matching up your tokens, and then that gets pretty big at scale, right? So lots of stress testing has to happen. And, we'll probably be publishing something pretty shortly where you can see the ins and outs of what we intend to build, because we do intend to do this the Kadena ecosystem way. And open source and educate and show people what we're building. We think that's the way to do it. So again, 6 to 9 months plus 3 more on top of that for the audit. That's probably what we're looking at to make an A-tier experience.
Yeah, really cool. I definitely think that's a reasonable amount of time, especially with obviously you guys are a big team. I don't think, and because you guys have the experience, I'm sure this is actually a lot shorter time frame compared to some other competitors in the space that are kind of starting this off for the first time. So especially, yeah, I think that's really cool. And hopefully Pact documentation gets better so that you guys can speed it up. I know there are a few new tutorials coming out soon and more improved documentation. So yeah, hopefully that will speed up the process for you guys a little bit more. So yeah, thank you for answering my questions. I think we're going to be opening up to the public now. So I'll start with adding Bet Refinery as a speaker if they want to ask anything or talk about anything. And if anyone else wants to, feel free to request. Hey, Refinery.
Hey guys, sorry, it's James McLaughlin here. I'm part of the team with Steve. BetRefine is my name on Twitter. I'm ex-Betfair. I've worked at all the sportsbooks in Australia. You can probably hear my accent. And yeah, just super excited. I'm KDA holder, Flux, all the rest of it. As most of you guys I can see from your profiles are. Yeah, really excited to work on this project with the guys. I've worked with a lot of sophisticated people in sports betting, and probably none of us. Excuse me, none of them impressed me as much as Steve and the guys who I've been connected with for quite a while. I'm super excited about the opportunity that's in front of us. A lot of work to do, but this market is just an incredibly large, underserved niche that just has a very high ceiling on it.
Yeah, absolutely. To give a number, actually, if you don't mind, so there's about $535 billion of underserved people in the exchange and bookmaking regulated market, but even more so in the back market. We call this the gray market. This is the market where it is kind of done on credit and, not in a regulated way. That's about 615 billion. So year over year. So you're talking about $1.1 trillion of money flowing hands and matching between worldwide in all of the sports books. And there's about last time I looked, it was 350 to 400 million people in the world kind of do this at least once a week, make a bet or a punt. So definitely, James, I totally on the ball there. It's a huge market that is underserved because right now we're seeing Betfair, which is the big one. That's the big daddy of sports betting, the exchange, which is just like a centralized exchange, just like trading crypto. They're falling apart terribly because their centralized shareholders don't have the same incentives as us, guys like us, trading crypto or trading sports, they really don't have the same incentives. Their incentive is to grab as much of the money as possible, and they kind of break that relationship I was talking about between the recreational entertainment bettor, they're there to make a bet, and then you got the sharp bettors and the market makers. That's just really the three parties, like crypto. And that they break that relationship because they kind of insert themselves in the middle, and then they take about 60% of the profit for themselves, and then just leave the scraps for everyone else. So really good point, James. Appreciate that. And those are the actual numbers and why we think if we build this token the right way with good governance, we can attract tons and tons of volume, which is just great for us because we're all KDA people, right? We all have a KDA, and we want that price to go up. As much as we're looking at the price on the exchanges and we're like, please go up to $5, $7, $10, it's never going to go up unless Bitcoin rolls and then it's just moving off air, like it's just moving off Bitcoin, as we all know. Or we actually get real volume and real apps where people are bringing outside money. They don't necessarily understand us KDA people or the token or what KDA is, but hey, there's this cool app on KDA. I want to bet. Let's go. That's how we make our token price go up, by getting apps that do that.
Awesome. Yeah, great point, James. Also, and sorry I didn't add you up here earlier. Did not understand you were with them, so sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. The deceptive profile on there. I'm not repping the KDA brand just yet. I've got to update the Twitter.
Lurking, we call it.
And then Spaceman, I just added you as a speaker, so.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey Spaceman, how are you?
Good.
Hey Steve, like I am checking that I that I have asked a couple of questions already. The one I forget yesterday is that in the roadmap, I see that in May 2022, there are 4 things mentioned. White paper version 1 is released, and website is published, and social communications are established. What about you also mentioned Kadena Eco grant? So did you already apply for Kadena Eco grant?
Yeah, we did apply at the Eco website about a week and a half ago, but I think they're just slammed with many applications because of the Luna thing. So obviously those Luna devs, they're really hurting the Luna devs, and probably many projects have come into the hands of the Eco team. And so we're just kind of patiently waiting for communication or advice back from them to see if we're, a capable application that could be added to their roster.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for the question.
Adding KDA Minor up here.
Hey, Minor.
Hey, Minor. Added you as a speaker.
Hey you there. So I came in just a little bit late, so I apologize if this was already addressed. I saw you guys mention Marmalade a couple times. What are you guys specifically using that for? Is there going to be like an NFT thing involved, or how does that intertwine with you guys?
Perfect question. Thank you very much for that. And great Twitter, by the way. I love your Twitter.
Thank you.
So yeah, great. I mean, the NFT was the one missing thing we didn't get in this AMA, and thank you for reminding me. And so, kind of one of our main concerns is just tying together the concerns of crypto investors with the concerns of sports betting investors. Although we're very similar in the way that we trade our tokens and we buy assets, and like we buy players, for instance, in sports, you buy NFTs. This is kind of the same world, but still it's a bit separate. And it's not necessarily true that KDA investors understand the sports betting world or would even want to interact with it, but they certainly probably would like to profit off of it. So I think that that's a very good point to make. So if you have a big network of lots of transactions happening and tons of volume coming in, it would be really, really nice for KDA investors to not just invest in a governance token, which might carry some risk with it in terms of, will these guys pull in the volumes they're saying, we think we will, but, we have to pull in a lot of volume to make that token worth money, right? And so the NFT is another way to de-risk your investments as KDA people. So right now we have the Kadena King. That's going to be our thing. We're going to make some cool king graphics. And each one of you will get a king who signs up for this. There's only 3,000 of them, sorry. 500 will be given away with just for mint, so there will be no IDO involved. And then the other 2,500 go to IDO people only. So we want to keep this very exclusive. We've not marketed to sports betting people on purpose so that KDA people can get their hands on these kings. So go to KDABet.com, go to the forum at the bottom. There's only 200 left now in the first round, and sign up and get your king. Now, what is the king going to do? Well, we're going to tie your concerns into the sports betting world's concerns. So you want to invest in something that ties to our network, not just the token, and then make some passive income off of that, and then perhaps some moon income too, right? We all want to have convex, like hockey stick type, bake type returns, right? Bored Ape Yacht Club. And so kind of how we're thinking about this is that the NFTs will give you certain benefits. One, you can take your liquidity and then pool it with the market makers. So we call that the right to rule. So, kind of a funny royal type of humor, the right to rule, where you can take your KDA and give it to a market maker, and then you can copy their bets, basically. So guys like Joey, who's on our team, and the people we work with in the Web 2 world, they never lose, guys. They're just like the market makers in crypto. They're not losing anytime soon because it's super sophisticated mathematical operation. And so if you own a king, you'll be able to take part of your bags and then copy their bets, basically. So you can pool into their operation and just make some passive income off of what they do. But maybe you don't like betting and you just want to make passive income. So anyone who owns a king will be able to basically charge a tithe. We call it the king's tithe, like your tax on the kingdom. And so what we're going to do is we're going to charge a 0.1% tax on every winning bet. This is in line with Betfair. Actually, it's a much, much less than Betfair and BetDAC and Smarkets. These are all Web 2 companies that do the exchange model. And you charge a little tax on the bet, and then you pool that KDAB as kind of an independent pool of capital. And then if you use your power on your NFT, so we're kind of thinking of it as, you can choose what you want to do. You use this power to tithe this pool, then you get passive income or KDAB put into your account. So you don't have to know nothing about sports betting, but you certainly know what NFTs are and JPEGs and value is. That's your expertise as crypto traders. So you know that if you hold this token will unlock a part of the smart contract that gives you access to the module and pack that distributes this KDAB into your wallet. So it's passive income. And then we got some cool stuff set up for the kings as well, where if you like betting, if you want to take a bet with us, let's go. let's bet. So you might like to bet the Yankees. That's your thing, or you might like to bet the Lakers. And you can come on and you can, use your power to get a free roll bet. Now, what free roll means in sports betting terms is a free bet. Pretty simple, right? So you can come on and, maybe your king gets a random power to bet an NBA. And so you can make a bet on the NBA. We're kind of thinking of it in terms of, you kind of use these things in a time period. So maybe you get one bet every 7 days or something, like $200. Well, you just got a free $200 bet. So you can go and make that. Or you can do something like boost your odds. So if you're like a KDA token holder and you really want to make some bets in sports, you really like doing that, this world, you could boost your odds by using some of the power on your king to make your odds better. So instead of getting like 2-to-1 odds on the Lakers, you might be able to get 2.05 to 1. So this is a very common tactic in Web 2, where people can come on who are new and they can boost their odds and just get like a little bit more value out of their bet when they're betting on LeBron James. So you can imagine a lot of little tricks that we have in store for the NFC, not tricks, but powers, I guess you would call it. And then, but the most important one are the passive income earns. So we're going to give you guys the ability to latch on to the big boys, make some money. And if you don't really want to bet, you just want to take a tax on the market, we'll let you do that too. That's the benefit of signing up for your king now. And you should do that before they run out. Sorry, that was a very long answer, but that's it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic answer. And I was actually going to ask you about copy betting, and it's in there. So fantastic. I think this is going to be an amazing project. I really do.
One note too, Minor. We're going to make that price pretty damn cheap. It's going to be less than Bake Mint because, we're not going to make this $1,000 mint. It's not going to be that way. This is for KDA and KDA people to get massive benefit. So if you're a token investor, this is exactly what you should demand from projects, is cool little ideas like this that marry your concerns, which is upside, with the sports betting market, which, you may not understand, but you do understand money, right? And that's kind of our thinking.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck to you guys. I'll be following, intently.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And keep the tweets up. They're the best.
I do what I can.
Thanks, Manu. All right. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to request, or if you just want to talk, request. Yeah. No problem with that.
Yeah. Any questions? We'll stay. Got Spaceman again. What's up, Space?
Spaceman, I see you're raising your hand. You can just unmute. You're already out of the speaker.
Yeah. Okay. Steve, I want to understand that. I heard that. Not sure when I heard that yesterday or chat. Something mentioned about bringing other projects, NFTs or coins into KDABet and integrating them. Something similar like that. I didn't get it exactly. So if you can light up on that topic, it will be good. This is my first question. And my another question is that in betting platform, what we will use? Will we use KDABs or we will be using KDAs for betting? So if we are using KDAs for betting, how the KDABs will derive value, and how it will get the store of value? Just I want the clarification on that point.
Yeah, two good questions there. So I'll tackle the store of value first. So the KDAB token is both governance and use to bet. That's a very deliberate choice because most people do a governance token and then some other token. Maybe it's the trade of value token, the trading token. But no, we really, really need to tie the governance to the people who actually bet, because it's the efficiency of your data that gets you the mining rewards. So we want the people who give the best data to leave the Web 2 world and come to the Web 3 world to make our markets for us, so that whenever we want to bet, whatever time we want to bet, however much we want to bet, there's always liquidity there. And to do that, you have to really play some pretty clever games with the people who are accruing this token. So if you have a governance token, you accrue it, but there's no risk to it. Then there's a big problem here, because then you can make votes without actually having to supply good data. You can supply good data sometimes for some period of time, get a bunch of governance tokens early, and then just leave, and then it doesn't matter anymore. So it's really about those people who are constantly betting, constantly coming in early, constantly making markets liquid. These are the people who will accrue the token, and that's why we use KDAB. And then what we have is, the token emission goes down over time. So it gets harder and harder to get these tokens as more and more competitors come into the market and are competing to provide this liquidity early. We're asking them to play a game by bet often, bet early, provide so much value early by making these markets liquid. And you can imagine as it grows from 2 to 14 to 140, you got more and more people fighting over the emission. So that's how we store the value, because it becomes harder and harder to get more tokens and therefore get more governance, more voting. So that's why we deliberately choose a single token for this, not KDA, because we can't store the value in KDA because KDA is more than one entity, right? So we have one network, and we're really trying to store the value of all of this, basically the data that flows into the protocol into this token. And that data has a price, basically the price to mine. So, people will come in and they'll try to keep betting more and more and more early. And so that's really, really critical in sports betting, because in the fiat world, bookmakers, there's no liquidity early. So if you want to come in and bet a day before, World Cup game, good luck. You're not going to find that much volume at all, because there's just not enough people coming in early, because, what's the point? There's no money in it if I really can't get my money down. So that's the first answer, is how to store the value in the token. And Spaceman, just give me the second question too.
Yeah, the second question is that regarding that other tokens in Kadena ecosystem can work in your betting app. Something similar you were discussing yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I got you now. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes two questions, one leaves my mind. But in terms of interoperability between KDABet and other projects, particularly NFTs, well, this is where Marmalade really, really shines. It destroys every other blockchain because it's built off Stuart Haber's work. What Stuart Haber did was he created a system for your NFTs to be updated. Okay, so your NFT is just a token. And if you want to make your token updated, so let's make a very concrete example of an update. Let's use one of my favorite NFTs. I have many favorite NFTs. Mox, please forgive us, but we're going to use cars for an example, because it really fits well with sports betting. So say you buy KDA cars and you get some cars, and then we make up a game with them where you can drive your cars in a game or something and earn free bets in our system. So maybe they have some sort of GameFi or something. What we can do is we can upgrade your NFT tokens, your car tokens, with some code of our own. So we can say, look, cars, add this code. And then what's cool about Marmalade is you can update your NFT. There's like a history. That's what the state management of the Marmalade NFT is. So what you're doing is you're saying, okay, add this code. So they update your token and they make a certificate to make sure it's still your non-fungible token. And now there's some code which can unlock parts of our smart contract. So if you're playing enough games, and maybe our Cars has like a little GameFi website or something where they're marketing our website, and they're playing these games, we give them some KDAB, goes into your wallet, and then you can go and make bets with it. So what's kind of cool about Kadena is this really, really nice upgradable NFT. So your token is just upgrading, that's all. And then you get really, really nice code that can be used as sort of an unlocking mechanism in our smart contracts. So in Pact, you have like a little key set which can unlock parts of the smart contract modules. And so we can make a module just for car bettors to get KDAB token for free if they do enough things in maybe the car game or something, and then they can go ahead and bet with that, and everyone wins. So interoperability is huge on Kadena. and it smokes every other blockchain by like 10 times, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Great to hear. Since you mentioned cars, so I will be keeping my eyes on Kadena cars.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I want to Aston Martin so bad. So if you're listening, hook me up.
Cool. Well, I'm going to give you guys maybe an extra minute if you guys want to request. If we don't have any more requests, I think we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, feel free if you got a question. No problems.
I think the awkward silence makes people hesitant to speak, I think.
Yeah, it's all good. Maybe there's a lot to absorb. And so, I'm here for 3 minutes, though, if anybody wants to ask.
See, this is the problem when you do such a thorough job of explaining everything.
Or maybe it's so confusing. I don't know.
Nah, it's just a lot to take in, man. It's just a lot to take in. There's a lot of moving pieces.
Agreed. Yeah. But I think you did a really good job of explaining it. So, yeah, like you said, there's a lot to absorb. And hopefully we can do this again later on down when you guys have, reached some more milestones. We can do this again, kind of just like recap and stuff like that. Maybe I'm sure there will be a lot more questions by then. So, yeah. So thank you for coming on, and thank you to our speakers for asking questions.
For sure. And if you want to reach out, we're pretty much always on Telegram. Spaceman will get to your questions, but we're always on Telegram, and you can pick our brains or kind of figure anything out you want. We're very, very open and to public. So give us a shout on our Telegram at the top of our Twitter bio at KadenaBet, and we're always open. Our ears are always open.
Awesome. Yeah. So you heard him. Join their Telegram. Ask any questions you want. Yeah. I've been in there a little bit. Yeah. Great community. I know you guys are quick to answer questions, so that's really cool. And thank you for coming on, and thank you everyone for listening. This will be recorded by TerraSpaces. If you want to listen back on anything, if you want a more thorough explanation for something that you didn't hear. So yeah, thank you.
Cheers, Ego. Thank you very much.
And I think Bet Refinery has one more thing to say, so I'm just going to add him up. Hey, Bet.
I think he got delisted as a speaker.
He did?
Can you guys see me all right?
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, the Twitter space has chewed up all my juice.
I think he's talking about the battery. Yeah. My phone battery drains whenever I run a space. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Okay, I guess we can close up then. And thank you very much for having us.
All right, yeah, thank you. Hopefully we can do this later on. Take care, guys.
That wraps it up for another amazing AMA. Thank you very much for listening. Here at KPN, we strive to bring an open platform for projects being built on Kadena to present themselves to the community. Please ensure to do your own research on each project before investing. Also ensure to follow us on our social media, from Twitter to our weekly newsletter. All the links can be found on our SoundCloud profile page. Thank you very much for listening, and take care.